We've got tips and recipes for healthy living. So for fun and inspiration, come and join us in the raw food world.
Welcome everybody, this is Matt Monarch with the Raw Food World TV show. And who do we got here?
Angela Stokes Monarch.
And I know, it's been a while since we've done a TV show.
It has. Why?
I don't know, but I feel like ranting right now.
Why?
To get all out of me! Blah! We just drank elixir of the lake with coconut water. My
So
teeth are a
good.
little green.
Yeah, mine too, buddy.
Okay. So, you just went on some sort of fast. Do you want to tell them about it?
Baba.
She went on a left brain fast.
Left brain internet fast for a week. I just finished a few days ago. And I wrote a summary all about it on my blog. If you haven't seen that or you'd like to check that out, my blog is rawreform.blogspot.com. And as a very quick summary, the main things that I experienced were I really, really, really enjoyed it. I absolutely loved disconnecting from a more kind of linear reality and diving more into the right brain, kind of feminine flow energy. One of the things that surprised me the most was the main thing my energy was drawn towards was cleaning and clearing the house. I was going around every single room of the house, every single item in every single room, clearing it, working out where everything was, organizing everything. It was amazing experience for me to do that. I felt like I finally know where I live. I also felt that my own feminine energy, my own feminine being, took on a new fullness of presence. There was this energy that came with it of really wanting to be witnessed and listened and paid attention to. And when I went back online, it felt very odd, really, really odd to be back online. And I would notice that whenever something that came into my energy field felt more kind of left brain, linear, logistical, my energy would go upwards into my higher chakras and it would feel a lot more masculine. And it didn't feel as comfortable, and I actually felt really agitated when I first went back online. Not in the very first minutes, I still felt very calm and centered and in a feminine space, but after being online again for a couple of hours, my entire energy field was altered. I felt very up in my chakras and very agitated. So that was a quick summary, but you can read all about it on my blog if you like, rawreform.blogspot.com.
Read all about it.
It was fun.
Maybe I should go on a left brain fast so I can figure out where I live.
Where do you live?
In Ecuador, coming at you in Vilcabamba.
I live there too.
So, I'm always talking about eat a whole foods diet. You don't need to be 100% raw to be healthy. You don't need to be 100% raw to heal from any condition, ailment, or degenerative disease. I believe that if you eat a good whole foods diet that's void of the most damaging foods on the planet, refined sugars and processed starches, that you can be healthy to a very old age, avoiding pharmaceutical drugs, unlike 95% of the human population who is either on pharmaceutical drugs, has some sort of condition, skin condition, ailment, degenerative disease, you name it.
In the Western societies, the kind of societies we come from.
It's happening everywhere these days.
It's true.
So what we thought, people are always wondering, what is a whole foods diet?
What is it?
Well, there's a lot of diets out there today, and the reason why a lot of them work is because of one common denominator. They all eliminate the foods that are the most damaging to the body. So we've kind of studied these diets pretty much and know what's on them, and all the diets that work and don't work pretty much are based off of these foods that they eliminate. So I thought we can give you an entire list of all the foods that you can eat. If you could eat only what's on this list and eliminate everything else out there that's processed, then you did it.
Woo!
Congratulations. You have the potential to be that 5% pharmaceutical and drug and degenerative disease free.
And maybe that 5% will expand.
Maybe. So, shall we?
Let's!
Okay, so processed starches, refined sugars are the most damaging foods to the human body. A lot of people think they're doing a good thing because they go vegetarian and vegan, when in essence, scientifically, it's not as damaging as refined sugars and processed starches, and they eliminate animal protein, healthy dairy, and they, vegans sometimes load up on the refined sugars and processed starches, and that is not that healthy of a thing. It's actually worse.
It's often why you see in health food stores, for example, these people walking around who don't necessarily look that healthy because they've maybe chosen a vegetarian or a vegan lifestyle because they feel like that's the optimal choice. And of course, in many ways, that can be a great choice. When it doesn't tend to work out is when people go vegetarian or vegan and end up eating massive amounts of bread and pasta and pizza and cakes and cookies and all those kind of vegetarian and vegan junk foods because they're vegetarian or vegan, and they feel like that's a better choice than eating animal products for ethical reasons or whatever it is. Whereas, animals are something that came directly from the earth. You never find a sandwich in nature, right? All of those kind of highly processed modern foods are what really damage the body.
And for those of you with a logical brain, let's just take a few mice or rats, feed them bread versus one lot bread and the other lot meat, and see who lives longer. I guarantee the rats that ate the meat are going to live longer. We don't eat meat, but it's less damaging than the other junk. Okay, so here's a list. Now, processed starches, the main ingredient that's so horrible is the gluten. So there are starches that are gluten-free. And we've got things like the gluten-free grains. And you can eat this steamed, sprouted, however you want. Things like quinoa, millet, buckwheat.
Amaranth.
Brown rice. Beans. You can even eat brown rice and beans together. Legumes, lentils, steamed lentils.
Chickpeas, garbanzo beans, some of you call them.
Steamed peas, the green peas.
Corn is even gluten-free. A lot of corn is genetically modified though, so it's a little bit of a tricky
You're growing
area.
your own or get them at the farmer's market, non-GMO. Corn. Baked potato is gluten-free.
Potatoes,
That's
yams.
filling. Just don't put margarine on it. Like, just throw it in your armpit or something and just use the juices from your... Might get a hair in there or two. No.
No.
Coconut oil. Use coconut oil. Coconut oil you can eat on these types of diets.
Potatoes, yams, sweet potatoes.
Shall we hit the animal kingdom?
Okay.
Healthy animal protein, healthy dairy.
What does that mean?
So try to stay away from red meat. Stay away from red meat. Chicken, fish, turkey.
What about seafood?
Seafood.
Is that a bit
That's
tricky?
fish.
Well, some people might consider it that.
Yeah. I mean, you'll just get a few radiation isotopes, no big deal. Moving right along. Eggs. That's a lot of food we've mentioned. There's more.
What about dairy? Non-pasteurized.
Preferably. Raw goat's milk. Preferably raw.
Raw
Goat's
goat's
cheese.
cheese. Sour cream. cream, cottage cheese from a goat, if you can. Again, we don't eat those kind of things, and we're not encouraging people to eat those kind of things. We're simply emphasizing these are probably wiser choices for your body than eating some things that came out of a package from the middle aisles.
We've got raw foods you could eat.
Like what?
Fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Seaweeds.
Oils.
Coconut oil, olive oil, all the nuts and seed oils that are healthy.
Good oils, not like canola and vegetable oil and stuff like
I've met thousands of people that have healed all sorts of conditions, degenerative disease, and ailments by improving their dietary lifestyle. It has nothing to do with eating raw foods. None of the people out there who healed from cancer and all those diseases has nothing to do with the raw foods they ate. It has to do with the processed foods they eliminated. You can actually heal from disease with eating 10% raw food if you know what you're doing. The more raw, the better, but whatever.
You can eat steamed vegetables, hey?
Steamed vegetables, avocado, olives, flax crackers, dehydrated foods, apple cider vinegar as a dressing.
Fermented foods. Sauerkraut and kefir and kimchi. Other kind of preserved foods like that. Like you might have sun-dried tomatoes in oil, or asparagus in oil, or artichoke hearts in oil, or so. Just look at the ingredients, check the ingredients. If there's like crazy stuff on the ingredients list that you can't even read, then your body's probably not going to want to deal with that, right? It's not going to know what to do with it. So try to get stuff that's as simple as possible.
Superfoods, cacao,
Controversial.
bee products, royal jelly, bee pollen,
Algae. Longevity.
So, people in the raw foods movement, what they do is let's say the health foods movement, they want to become healthy. However, they don't eat whole foods. They still eat the processed foods. They learn about medicinal herbs. They learn about superfoods. They learn about supplements and vitamins. And they take this and they think they're doing a good thing, and they continue to eat processed foods. Unless you eat everything that we just mentioned and nothing else, that's the first step to avoiding pharmaceutical drugs and degenerative disease in the long run. If you can't do this number one step, then all the other stuff is nonsense. Yeah, you might get some nourishment here and there, but in the long run, or you might have temporary results from eating medicinal herb for a specific thing, but the thing that causes the disease is the foods that are not on this list. So if you everything else is useless. Even colon hydrotherapy is practically useless because you're just going to end up back where you were. So the number one step is to eliminate all the foods but the ones we just mentioned. And there's a lot of food on there, a lot of satiating foods.
And we probably forgot some stuff as well.
Yeah.
Put comments down below if there's other stuff we forgot.
Yeah. Put them down there. So that's the first step. Nothing else matters right now. If you're not doing that, then you should be aspiring to do that. Like hardcore. And if you're not aspiring to do that, it's time to go home and just forget about it.
Stay out of the middle aisles.
Stay out of the middle aisles. There's so many foods there. Yeah, it might not taste good, but do it for 3 months. Continue to eat these foods, and then your taste buds will change. And it'll be good food. That's the food that will fuel you. All right. What do you think, babe?
That was a nice one, wasn't it?
Who's this?
Angela Stokes, Monarch.
And Matt Monarch, encouraging you to eat whole foods.
We missed coconuts off the list.
Coconuts. And I guess people also have to understand that when they start to eat healthier and eliminate all those processed foods, you go through withdrawals and major detoxification. And if you've been doing this for 40 years on end, eating processed foods, or 20 years, guess what? The detoxification doesn't happen overnight. And I've discovered a way to explain this in such a superb way that we're going to talk about it tomorrow at the Raw Food World TV show.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at the Raw Food World.